So, good evening, one and all. My name is Vincent Riggins. I'm co-chair of Parks, Sanitation, and Environmental Committee. Welcome. We're always glad to see community folks come in with their own personal concerns and issues. We get started at 6:45 to give everybody a chance to come in. But right now, one of the things we're going to do that we always do at the beginning of our meetings is to introduce community residents. You be able to introduce yourself, say why you're here, maybe what your concerns is, for 2 minutes or less, right? Anybody else that's on the agenda will obviously have more time. Hello? Okay, I sent you a text. The meeting got 1 minute.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So I can't talk to you right now because the meeting just started, but I think it should be left up to the discretion of the co-chairs.
Hello.
You know what? Well, you're making a decision, but you didn't consider all the possibilities. One, if we don't have phone and we ain't got enough people here, really nobody filming. Laura's out today because she's sick.
Okay.
You understand? So things happens that go outside of the reason you okayed it. You know, and we got to be able to make. Right. Well, I said I may talk to you right now. There's some other compliance issue that's involved too. But I'll talk to you about it later. Where's it going? So, why don't we do the introduction? We'll get started. Who was the first person that came in tonight? All right, so you got the floor. Introduction, who you are, maybe where you live at, and what's your concern?
Hello, everyone. My name is Antoinette Leslie Holland. I live in East New York, 191 Fountain Avenue, between 15 and Glenmore Avenue. And I'm here because I'm, concerned about the community, and also I want to talk about the compost collection that I didn't know about until I received the flyer, which is also in here, on Saturday. I know the city was collecting compost because I've seen it years ago where they gave out the free little, about this high, round, right. But it was not told to us. I think it was like a voluntary pilot thing that they were doing, because I never got notice of getting. I see people now with them, like last year I saw people when I thought it was something that you voluntarily did, that you did. But now I see that this is mandatory now. So I had to rush out, because today's April 1st.
Just tell him 2 minutes. Let me speak.
I had to rush out and buy a can, because I did go online to do some research. And it says that if you have a can with a lid and you get the label's not going to come until God knows when now. So what I did was, before you say anything, what I did was I ran out, and I want to know, is this acceptable? Are you representing the sanitation?
I'm representing part of it, so I'll tell you a little.
Well, I went out, rushed to Home Depot, printed out me some labels. I didn't mean to bring this. It just don't happen that I'm here with this. I went out and I made my own. Okay. So is this acceptable?
What am I supposed to answer it now or wait? Okay.
So you're gonna address it later, or you gonna?
No, I'll address it now. So thank you so much for bringing this up. Just to real piggyback, because we have everybody that has to ask questions and give concerns. This pilot program was 2 years ago. Correction. And last year, this program was introduced by the mayor's office, it was already established that effective this year, 2025, this will go into effect. There has been multiple talk through TV, emails, community board 5 meetings, 75th precinct council meetings. The word has been getting out. So if you didn't get it through a mailing postcard from sanitation, because they also was mailing
I got
stuff
that.
out, you got this. When did you get this?
Saturday.
This recent Saturday.
Saturday.
Okay. So
And I'm a TV fan, okay? I watch, and I seen all the commercials about the black bins.
Big black,
And I ordered one. I even got something in the mail. I ordered it way before they, because they said November 12th. So I got mine.
November 12th of last year, yes.
Right, and I got mine in time before then. So had I known about that, I would have jumped on it.
So if you received that in November, there was already it was already mandatory by April 1st of this year,
I never
2025.
got anything about that
So-
until Saturday.
Okay, so I can't apologize for you getting it on Saturday, but we'll talk a little bit more about this. Tomorrow we have our other community board meeting, and we do have Department of Sanitation that will be there.
Oh, I thought they were coming here tonight.
Right.
That's why I'm here tonight.
That's why I'm here too. I thought you were
Okay.
here.
So
Let's go.
there will, I can't speak on behalf of that.
Well, speak on what you can speak on, and
So
then
I'll speak on what I can speak on. I didn't know they was coming tonight. This is the Parks and Sanitation Department. But they was at our meeting, our CB5 meeting, the public board meeting last week, Wednesday. They did come, they did get asked questions and get information and stuff like that. So all I could do is apologize on behalf of us and the precinct part. But this has already been in effect for almost over a year. So if anything that came in November the 11th or 12th, that date on that paper, because sometimes we misread stuff or we don't see it. I know for a fact, working out of the department, doing the mayor's office and things of that nature, this was already established over a
Okay,
year ago.
Now, I did remember seeing when we got the cans for the garbage, the
Mm-hmm.
trash, that is that it wasn't, if you wanted to buy the blue can
Mm-hmm.
or the brown can, if you wanted to buy it, but you didn't have to buy it. That's why I didn't buy it, because
Mm-hmm.
they said if you wanted to buy it, wasn't mandatory to buy those cans.
That was almost a year and a half ago, so you haven't received nothing since
Nothing.
last year.
No,
Okay, we'll talk a little bit more.
I don't want to get a ticket because I don't want to.
Well,
got you.
let me just make a suggestion. If you said you paid for the proper container,
I paid for the blue. You know me, Mr. Vincent. Was your secretary?
yes, you was. That's what I'm saying. You came with that head wrap. I ain't recognize going on. But this is my suggestion. If you paid for the proper receptacle and you did not get it, hold on to that receipt.
No, I got the black can. It's the brown can that I didn't know I had to buy.
So if you could get the brown cans, they definitely, I would definitely talk more about
The
it.
city gave out those little brown ones, and they don't want to give out any more brown cans.
Well, that's a good question, but that's
That's a
something
good
that we
question.
cannot
I'm gonna
answer in
ask
this
that tomorrow.
Now
committee.
you have to
I
pay
got
for
you.
more.
All right, no,
That's
okay,
the
okay, hold
When
on,
they
hold
were
on,
looking
hold
at
on,
the
hold
garbage
on.
man,
Hold on,
they
we
didn't
can
have
have
the
that.
brown
No,
ones
no, you
either.
good. No, you good. You good. No, I got you. So it's okay to ask these questions because this is what we need to know. But we can only answer what we know. So I don't want you guys to get
That's why I
offensive.
thought it was a
Okay.
pilot thing, because they gave out those brown things.
The little
So let me ask you a
small
question. We're not gonna keep going over the same thing. Is anybody else here about the
that?
containers?
ones.
No, I have not heard about the containers.
So you also hear more information about the containers, right? And the young lady with her hand raised, anybody else?
Somebody said something else. No. Okay.
Yeah, because when the card came where you could order the big containers, it was no order for the brown ones or any documentation or wording to say that, okay, April 1st, this is gonna be mandatory.
No, but I also went online to look at it too, because that's why I saw it said you didn't have to buy the brown ones or the blue ones.
That is true.
I think
It's
that
optional.
affect.
Went to the website, right, for the bins, it says it was optional for the brown cans.
Thank you. I thought it was big.
No. Listen, We're not saying that you guys are not
I
telling
ordered
the
both, I
truth.
ordered the black one and the blue one.
So
And it
when,
said brown was optional.
so the brown, when was the last update you seen of that?
Maybe a month ago when I ordered mine.
A month ago.
Well, let me ask a pertinent question. Did anybody get a summons for having the wrong container?
Right.
And
No, so nobody got
Not
it?
yet, but today,
It's meant
today,
mandatory, it's
tomorrow
mandatory.
can be a different story.
There's a different story.
So if you have nothing to recycle, You gotta put out your can anyway?
There you go.
That's my.
Oh, wait, okay, we're gonna have a cat call.
There you
We're gonna go around the room and I get a chance to speak. If you don't have anything to recycle, right? Do you have to put the can up? So you shouldn't have no problem.
There you go.
But you have trash. They're gonna go through the trash to see if there's
Oh, they will.
food in
So
there.
they said they will do that.
Okay, but, okay,
They
look,
don't do that, they said.
okay, but listen. We can't project every option that may happen during that process, right? If you know what the policies are and what you're supposed to have, you gotta have it. If you don't have it, then don't put out a foreign can marked indiscriminately, whatever you want to put in it. That's illegal. Yeah, if you got to do something else with the garbage or recycle it, let you work with your neighbors and all that until you get your container, and that's it. It's something that we would, because you guys brought it up.
Yeah.
We would also bring it up to the department and even the mayor if necessary.
You said a meeting's tomorrow, another meeting tomorrow?
I'll explain that. I'll tell you about that.
No, I don't
Not
know.
us.
Well, I
Don't
also,
be calling me now.
I also wanted to, the parks also handles the trees also.
What is your concern about the trees?
I asked for a tree to be replaced in front of my house, and it's what, 5 years
I'll take
later?
the time.
Yeah, that's forestry. That's something that we could address later on. And what's your address again?
191.
I'll take about a year, the number 4, at least a year.
She said
One-
5.
At least 1
Just
year.
about every year they got a
About
forest.
a year that takes. From the time you apply, it's a year. Let me actually show you.
What's that, 11208?
1128.
Well, they all kind of slow in replacing the trees.
Trees.
We're waiting all over the district. They do have a forestry program
Yeah.
that's expediting it somewhat, but there's still a backlog on the trees being implanted. But that's a good point. Yes, ma'am.
I have a tree for 90, which is backing all the way up my butt.
What's the address?
95 Autumn.
Autumn.
No, you didn't put anything on it.
That's 11208 too, right?
And you said
And
between
and
Blake.
the tree is cracking the sidewalk?
Yeah, the roots, I have the bathroom,
Right.
stuff under the bathroom.
Yeah. Historically, it's something else we could mention to them, but historically, the owners of the property is responsible for that cracking sidewalk.
What you doing?
I understand, but we will bring it up because you brought it up to this committee.
Dead tree, I can't cut it down. Up the dead tree.
Anybody else?
Mama right here.
About what? I'm sorry.
Introduction, 2-minute introduction, and we'll go right around.
Okay, my name is Charlotte Williams. I'm a citizen resident of East New York, Sheffield Avenue. And my concern is also one of hers with the composting. As far as mandatory, when I looked online to get the trash container, it's the same concern. I just want to ditto on what she said. But the thing is, they don't have enough. Even Home Depot don't have. Because I know they had a giveaway, and as a senior citizen, I was like, well, maybe as a senior I could get one. But they don't even have any around.
Yeah, we understand.
Now, the thing is, Home Depot don't even have them in stock. So to have this come into effect, they should have had enough to cover all the citizens or all the homeowners and apartment buildings they have in this, and not just this community, the state of New York, because it's the state, right? Or the city of New York, I should say.
Well, we understand. Let me just say this, because we got to move along. We are in agreement that they should have been more diligent about informing and making those baskets available. But we can advocate for you as a community board,
Yes.
but it's our council people, our elected officials, is the ones that really have to change the policies or advocate to change the policies. We as residents and voters, we could appeal to our elected officials, specifically council people, and let them know that that's what's going on. I'm sure they may not know, but we will bring it to their attention from this committee, and you, as a resident, you would have to do the same thing as a citizen.
Well, I called around to all, I called Nikki Lucas, I called Chris Banks, I had a list at home. I called the community board as well. Community board 5. And no one seemed to, Hakeem Jeffries, he's busy in Washington, but anyway, I did.
And it's a city issue, so the city, that's why I said city councilman, so I'm directing you to the right person. The city councilman has to respond to that. So everybody that's having that issue, make sure you communicate with your city council person, because it's a city issue. It's not a state. Nikki Lucas ain't gonna bring no trees up in here, right? So advocating, appealing to the wrong politician is not gonna serve you well. But we will help you in that advocacy from this committee. Anybody else? Next.
Sorry, hold on. Quick question. When did you recently go to Home Depot?
I didn't go per se, but I ran into a lady that was in the supermarket I was in. She had just left Home Depot.
This is like
Today.
the last today.
She said they didn't have any.
So I have the director's number today too. I'll talk to you more about that after.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. No. Today.
Oh,
After.
All right, so we're gonna move along. We're not gonna entertain
Okay,
stores and all that. Where you gonna get it from? We
Yeah,
ain't gonna do
agenda.
that. We're gonna advocate from this committee to our elected officials that's responsible for making sure that our citizens are not victimized because they cannot obtain the proper receptacle. It's just that simple.
Okay.
We ain't gonna be beating around all around the bush. Anybody,
No, I wanted to speak about the trees as well. I had called numerous times to 311 about the tree that's right in front of my house.
what's that address?
587.
587?
Yeah, Sheffield.
Sheffield.
I called 3 times to have the tree pruned because the branches was growing over the awning on the second floor, and especially when it's bad weather, the tree would bang on the awning, and I didn't want it to tear my awning down or someone get hurt.
Sure.
Anyway, no one came. So,
Well, they definitely are backlog on that as well. So those are some issues. I'm glad you came to the meeting to highlight that, because that was way off my radar, but now it's on my radar.
thank
So
you.
we'll help you advocate for that. You know what
My name is Nitavia Jones. I am a business owner in East New York, a property manager as well, a community gardener for East New York Oasis. My issue is that we have illegal dumping at the corner of the garden.
You say that again?
Illegal dumping.
Oh, illegal dumping. What's that address?
The address,
Oh, the corner,
the
cross
corner of
streets.
Montauk and Picken.
By the church or daycare? Church or daycare?
More on the park, on the garden side. On the garden, Montauk.
That's real bad.
The garden is, it has a huge, on the corner.
Illegal dumping.
Yes. And then I don't know if this is the committee for it, but on the other side, across the street from the garden, when it rains, the rainwater sits there. And so as days go by and the water sits there, it starts to smell. Mosquitoes. And there's no drainage at the corner.
Flooding. Okay. Young lady?
I'm Portia Deerenforth. I'm from New York City Parks. I'm the administrator for Highland Park and Forest Park. So I'm here to give you guys some updates. I can do it now or later, whatever you prefer.
Portia, did we have you on the agenda?
You did not. I just came because there's some new kind of updates. I
Can
wanted
you
to
give your
share.
updates in 2 minutes?
I can, yes. I'll be very quick.
You got the floor.
And very quickly, I just want to tell you, illegal dumping for parks, we've been recording it. Anytime a manager sees it, they have to call it into Central, so we've been tracking it. And actually, Sue Donahue, the commissioner, was on the radio today, so report it to your park manager, which I think is Emilio Lopez. I can give you his. Yeah. I'll give it, I have to look it up in my phone, but I just want to respect the 2 minutes. So quickly, a couple.
Same problem.
Me too.
Yeah, so, yeah, I'll get you his number. And actually, Ms. Perkins might have it, you might have it. I heard he was coming tonight, but anyway. So Highland Park, I do want to give you, a couple, updates about what's happening. Right now, we have a couple of things that were recently completed construction through New York City Parks. We have new water service for the community garden. We have some paths that
You
were
got new water
redone.
service for a community garden?
Yes, yeah.
What community garden is that?
Oh, wait, Highland Park Community Garden. It's on Warwick and Jamaica Avenue. We also have some paths that were completed, about 3 months ago. We have various paths, like the most important one is on Vermont Place, across from the parking lot, and also just past around the playground and the park house, upper field house. And then right now, under construction, we have invasive species removal contract, basins 1 and 3 in the reservoir. And then we also just started the dog run construction, which is gonna go behind Ball Field 1, which is really Highland Boulevard and Jamaica Avenue. So that was really exciting. That just started. I'm convinced it's gonna be one of the nicest looking dog runs in New York City. It's gonna have a steel fence and flowers surrounding it with a stone wall. So I can share the capital tracker with you, so you can kind of follow it. But it's about a year construction, and it's gonna have additional lighting also.
What's the size of the dog walk park?
Pardon me?
What's the size of the
Oh,
dog?
good question. I don't have it with me, but I will find out for you. It's about a half an acre, but I don't
About a half
quote
acre.
me on that, because I can find out exactly for
All
you
right,
tomorrow.
I just want to highlight it.
And then coming up, we are gonna just be doing more pathway work in the fall, like late fall. And most of these projects were funded, luckily by Councilmember Sandy Nurse, and also some mayoral funds. So, and then I just wanna also give the community board a heads up that right now we do have a sinkhole in the picnic area. We have engineering coming to look at it tomorrow. We don't know what it's from. We don't know if it's an abandoned pipe, but if you get complaints about it, we are going to obviously resolve it as soon as possible, and we've definitely cordoned it off so it's safe. So that's about it.
Anything about disc golf?
We have the, based on our last meeting, we went forward with kind of our plan to reroute the disc golf course outside, so to allow for more open space. So the Disc Golf Association had 4 volunteer projects, which actually removed invasive species like poison ivy and multiflora rose from kind of the natural areas, like on the perimeter of that area of the park, to try to move, because they're going to be moving baskets into that area to allow for more open space. So that's the update on that. They had about probably 35 volunteers Saturday and Sunday, both weekends approximately. So that was good, because it also got rid of a lot of poison ivy, which we don't want in the park anyway. So hopefully it's a good compromise and we can see how it goes over the next year or so.
Thank you.
Sure.
Committee, any questions from Ms. Portia from Highland? That-
Yeah, just 2. One on the, just remind me, do your agency, do anything for like the summer youth employment program? Do you guys have or children assigned to that?
We don't have anything. Last year at Highland Park, we did work with the Cypress Hills. And we had a couple of kids from Cypress Hills, and then we did have some kids in like this sister park, Forest Park, but not, I'd like to get more, So.
And then lastly, in regards to the disc golf, and hopefully it goes well, because the
Yeah.
summer months, this committee shuts down on
Yep.
July and August. If you could just take, I don't know, whether it's A, videos, or B, just photos. I just want to make sure that it's not a high foot traffic area, so no one's child get hit upside the head by that area, so.
And we also are gonna be, like we said in the last meeting, we're gonna be adding some posts and ropes. So what I'll do is, and I'll take photos and videos, like you said, so I'll bring that to the September meeting to like update everybody.
Yeah, humans are synthetic,
Yeah.
you gotta see it.
Yep.
How you doing? My name is Ricky, my wife, my daughter. And my main concern is the street cleaning around my area. Cars are not being moved, not being ticketed.
What's that location?
701 Alabama,
7?
01. There's a car that's parked there like about 5 years now since the pandemic has been moved. And, cars are not being moved.
What's that between, I'm sorry, sir?
Between Hegeman and Nunots. That's my main concern here, really.
Alright.
Are they guys gonna do something about that? What's going on with that? But they don't ticket these cars anymore. Move their cars. They stop doing it or something?
I can't answer that, but we will definitely follow up on it,
I mean,
as
it's a
well
major-
with the police department as
I mean,
well.
it's a major concern
To
now.
see if we can get that moved.
Huh? It's a major concern now.
Is it plates on it?
I have no idea. It's covered up. Yes.
That's one of the reasons, they can't touch it.
They can't touch
But
it.
what about give them a ticket for say they
They
move?
can't touch it. How you gonna give it a ticket if you can't, they're not allowed to raise up.
So,
No,
What about the other cars? They're not moving their cars when it's time to clean the streets. A lot of times, street comes by and.
all right,
cars
this
are right
gentleman
there.
got the floor. I said, you have the floor, but we got a lot of catcalls, so we don't wanna do that. So, That's the issue with that. But, that being said, we're still gonna follow up and inquire. And we got some colleagues that's on this committee that's on the precinct as well. Do you go to the precinct council meetings?
No.
Okay.
I'll be talking to you. Bro.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna call mingle that right now, but that's a good place to go when you have those type of issues. They got a board now that's really
When is
advocating.
the meetings?
Our meeting is, I'll talk to you. Our meeting is tomorrow.
Just make it part of the record.
So, I'm the vice president for the 75th Precinct Community Council, and we deal with stuff like this, also parts of sanitation. So tomorrow will be our monthly annual meeting. Will be at 7 p.m. at the YMCA. We move around the entire area of East New York, and we'll be hosting the meeting tomorrow with our police department. We have different people from different areas that are coming, and this is one of the major concerns we do talk about. And I'll share more information with you after.
YMCA
YMCA.
location.
Where?
Y- 570 Jamaica Avenue. It's right here.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, that being said, if you cannot make the meeting, don't hesitate to call the precinct. Don't show up in
You call the
person.
person, then come like 4 or 5 hours later on and say it's no problem.
Well, that's all right, but now you know
How
people.
you come 5 p.m. if it's from 11:30 to 1 p.m.? I can be sure at 5 p.m. and say there's no problem.
If you can name drop, it helps a little bit.
Name
So if you can name drop, it helps.
There's no
a little.
name. Put on 3-1 app.
I'm just trying to point something out. He just had a chance to meet Deron.
Okay.
He just said he invited president of the precinct council.
Okay.
Let them know you spoke to
That's
Deron.
my first time.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you said okay, okay.
Yeah, so now, is that gonna get the car moved? I don't know, but they'd be a lot more attentive,
They will.
because they got influence. You see what I'm saying? So, we are a community, this is a community
Do you have a
building.
card, Deron?
Yes, I got you.
We ain't gonna do all that right now.
I got
He's
you.
in,
Sorry about that.
he's in service of this committee right now, but we're gonna use him where we see fit to help the community. So,
That's all
we're gonna do that.
That's what I'm here.
Daughter,
We together.
Daughter.
she don't wanna introduce herself to the
All right,
community?
go ahead, Nick.
She got leadership qualities, though, mother, huh?
I'm Nevaeh.
Say it again?
Nevaeh.
Nevaeh, beautiful name, okay.
I give it that name.
It's all right, Dad. That's all right. That's all right. Yeah. Where you go to school? Where you go?
Where I go to school?
Yeah, you go to school?
Yeah, LaGuardia.
LaGuardia College?
Yeah, high school.
Oh, I was getting ready to say,
High school.
yeah, high school.
Yeah.
And what are you gonna major?
Move it down.
Art.
Art?
Major art.
Okay. Awesome. Welcome. Yeah. This is what things happen in the community.
Yeah.
I'm glad your parents brought you.
Yes. Hello, my name is Louise Rankin, and I also live in the neighborhood, 701 Alabama. And my concern is the poop, the dog poop. I don't have any dogs, and I have to be cleaning up poops all over we keep a clean area, we keep a nice lawn, and every year it seems like it's getting worse.
Okay. And that location is what?
It's between, it's mostly on Hegeman,
Hegeman between?
Alabama and Hegeman. Right around that corner. It's like they come straight to property and decide,
Hegeman between Alabama and
Georgia.
and they poop right in front of your house.
What I said.
Oh no, I thought you said the whole block.
I have a corner house, and the grass all around it. Yes. So yeah, it's a fight.
Yeah, it's a fight. Most of us are park volunteers, and that's a challenge that we have as well. One of the remediations that I use, costs a little money, pepper.
We tried. We tried it all. Believe me, we tried it
It
all.
works for me.
It does?
Yeah.
Cayenne.
What kind?
Kanye.
You must put a whole lot because
I don't know what
whole
type.
lot?
Hey, listen, I don't know what type of pepper you're gonna use, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You put it on the stuff you put it right on the stuff because the dog is gonna smell for his scent. That's where you're gonna make
Okay.
it. And I did it. I ain't gonna say what I did it.
Okay.
But I did it. I did it, and the dog walked through that whole park, almost back to his block before he made it. I was satisfied with that.
Wow.
Just like you, I was like confronting people about it, right?
Oh yes, and they're
But,
very nasty.
Yeah. So, but they ain't worth it. So I said it works. Cayenne. Who said cayenne pepper? Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So just try, but you gotta put it. You gotta put it where they made on the pot.
Okay.
Mess.
Okay.
right? And then follow that trail, just watch them. So that's what I did. One day I just sat in the park and watched the
That's
dogs.
what I was gonna start doing, following them to their house and pick up the poop and.
No, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You know
I'm
what I mean?
saying, it's
Right,
not
right,
that
right,
bad.
Right. Make your husband here. You don't want to.
I know, he's like.
All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Valerie Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
I have that issue with the dog,
Mhm.
and I saw the lady more than once, and I'm like, why, when your dog get in front of my gate, he got to poop there and the grass? And she said, but I'm cleaning it up. I said, yeah, but it's not a bathroom. He keep coming here. So I put the crayon. When she went to 75th precinct, because I live right there, and called the police, and he left the precinct to come to my house to argue with me about that.
Who came to your house?
A policeman.
A policeman came to your house.
Yes, because the lady said, I said I'm putting something to kill her dog. I told her I'm gonna put something there next time you want me pouring there. And then the officer said, well, you know, you told her more than once, and I mean, they laid to me. Not the officer, the mother and daughter, but they haven't came back since.
Right. Okay, so it's just your methodology of handling it. You don't have to tell anybody what you're doing. It's your property. And it's not poison.
I said to the officer, it's not poison.
Yeah, I don't tell them what I put down. They were like, you'll never do that. You know what I mean?
Hi, my name is Lorraine, and I also live in the area. Talking about the same thing with the garbage, like on Dumont, Autumn and Dumont. I mean, they're little bit, when they say you clean out the house, the kitchen sink, everything.
Yes,
Tires, everything.
yes.
Right there.
Autumn and Dumont.
Autumn, but the closest you do is like. And another thing is,
And they got drop-offs.
people
Double.
just come and dump their,
Yeah, it's
Okay.
an issue.
another thing with the garbage. Then sometimes they decide whose garbage they're gonna pick up.
Just don't take it.
So then I go there, what, do you mean? Everything is in order, why don't you?
Okay. If that ever happens to you again, okay, but what I'm gonna suggest you do, when it happens, call the community board of district office on that same day. Can you do that?
I used to have the number of patients, it changed it. Sometimes the inspector, sometimes they get out their own card. Yeah, I don't understand why they have done it.
Okay. So what I wanna help you do is get a solution. The next time it happens, could you call the district office at the same time, that same day that it happened? 819-5487. 819, excuse me, 5487. And my number is 917-754-2426. And if you do that in a timely fashion, when that happens, we'll get the truck to come back to remove it. Well, let's try. Let's try to work together and see if we can do that.
Lady next door, they live next door, but they insist on blocking my driveway.
Oh,
And this
thank you,
is a constant
thank you.
problem. Now I understand she's pregnant. All she do is beat the horn, okay, you blocking somebody's driveway, you hear her horn beating, look out the window to see, okay, maybe I'm blocking. She come down and still with an attitude. What the, you know the word, I just wanna get in the driveway, you're not paying for it.
Right.
She get attitude, now I understand, I think I'm gonna take that up with the captain and then I threaten my granddaughter to bring somebody to be here about that.
That's what you want to do with that. Hey, that's all.
Community resident. I do want to piggyback off of these bins. I did get one when they were giving them out. And I want to know, how are they going to enforce it with the garbage, the recycling? Because I do that composting, but sometimes my compost isn't a lot, so I don't put it out every week. But I do put the leaves in, mixed in with the
Food stuff.
the food, because they said that if you don't do that and the maggots come out, they're gonna give you a ticket for that as well.
Oh.
So that's what I heard, that you not just put the food, so you have to put like vinegar and ammonia and all other stuff in there, so I heard of that was going to give you a ticket if you put it out and it has a lot of maggots in it. So I don't know how true that is. And also, I have a tree in front of my house that I tried to get them to cut the branches back because it's growing into the wires. The wires are kind of mixed in with the tree. Hold on, I'll be out in 1 second. And so the wires are out there. I called 311 and they just put in a ticket, but I heard that the company that was supposed to do the pruning was no longer being used and they were supposed to get a new one. I think it was Andretti and Sons was supposed to be the company, so it's just the wires across that's running, the main wires running from the pole to the house and the tree is like, kind of like intertwined.
Yeah, 1 second.
Ro Johnson, I have a problem with, I've been composting ever since they rolled it out, but my son started laughing at me because he watched them put it right in the same truck with the regular trash.
No way. You gotta be kidding us.
And
Is that true?
so, I was very upset because I baked the whole house compost for the past 2 years, and ever since I got the little bin, and then he called me and he said they just put it in the regular trash. You guys doing all this?
I would be surprised.
Well,
Well, we compost with the same trust.
it's not really too much you could do about that. I mean, you could complain about it.
But if they're gonna find people, like, they can't put it in the same.
Yeah, it's not the sanitation workers that's gonna find people. If they make a determination that it's mixed, they can throw it in the truck. Nobody gonna go and uncycle that truck to find out if it was mixed with your one can. So that's what I'm saying. But if you call the district office, this one, or the sanitation department, and let them know that that's what's happening, then they have a supervisor follow up.
I see.
I retired from sanitation. So we got determination whether the garbage is good or not. If it's one bottle in there mixed up with paper, they can say that. And you can say, oh, no, it wasn't. And we say, yes, it was. Who they gonna believe? They're not gonna look at the trash. Just forget about that. But if you highlight that as an issue, yeah, the supervisors will follow up on it. And then if they know somebody's following up on it, they won't do it. Not as much anyway. Right.
Mr. Vincent, I have one question. Is this just for the residents, businesses and churches also?
Everybody got recycling. Everyone. Yes.
Because I see churches, I don't see the churches with the.
Some of them, most of them are starting. But I can only speak for East New York. Some of the churches are starting. They are.
Or some of them don't.
Okay.
Are they gonna get fined? Okay. That's not gonna compost.
Yeah.
Because us churches, black churches, they gonna have their dinners. Okay.
All right, let me try to get back on path now schedule because we went around the agenda. We call this till light tonight. Everybody should have an agenda in their hand, and we are noted that there is a quorum for the FOS committee.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Everybody got one? Got the agenda? And just official roll call, President Vincent Riggins, Alfred Adams, just say aye.
Aye.
Rochelle Ellison, Thomas Haynes, Duran Linson, Albert Scott,
Present.
a quorum is duly noted. We did that, introduction, attendance, and acknowledgement, so we jumped ahead. Approval of the agenda. I get a motion to accept the agenda as read unless you got a amendment to it. Anyone?
I read it earlier. I forgot how to say it.
If you got-
I make the motion to
accept the agenda.
accept the minutes for
Agenda.
the agenda from April 1st.
Second?
Second.
Albert Scott. Motion by Brother Duran, second by Albert Scott. Approval of the minutes from March 4th. Now, let me just say this as a committee. We have not been ratifying our minutes. We have not been. What does that mean, Mr. Riggins? That means once the minutes are produced at our previous meeting, at this meeting, we gotta read them and then ratify them that they are correct. I think at our last meeting, we found even at the general session, a member had to stand up and say that something was erroneous in the minutes. So it's important that we do that. It's not as critical, I think, as a general session, but that's something that we definitely want to adopt inside the committee. Any questions, statements?
Here's the issue. We need to start getting them last minute. And when I say last minute, if the meeting is the first Tuesday of every month, at least by the second week or even the third week, they should be sent an email.
Suggestion duly noted. That's a good point.
Yeah. Because, for
Get the,
instance, this came today, and I'm doing a million things.
Alright.
So,
No, that's good. That's a good point. I'm glad you raised that point. Anybody else? So, any way to suggestions on how we could fix that? I have
So-
some, but I want to hear from you guys.
so we have the secretary, right? So it goes back to what I said. If the meeting's the first Tuesdays of every month, by the following Tuesday, it should be done.
You
If
got
it
that.
has
I've
to
got
be-
that.
Exactly.
But my suggestion would be for the minutes to be, once they scribed, is to be circulated to the committee by the district office.
I agree with that.
Email.
Yes.
That way you can take your time to go through them. You got plenty enough time to think it over. Because right now, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna read them, but
It's a lot from our
yeah,
last meeting.
right. And another thing too, I want you guys to think about that we might could fix. The minutes, she's doing a great job, tell you the truth, as you can tell,
Good.
right? But minutes should be pretty much bullet pointed.
Not a full paragraph.
You don't have to tell the whole story, just what happened, right? So that's something that me and the co-chair all was talking about, and we didn't want to disparage nobody at the same time, right? But as you can see, like 4 pages, it's just a little too much to cover in a meeting. So at our last meeting, there was over, I think, about 30, 40, 50 people at the last meeting. And who'd like to read the minutes so we can ratify them? Brother Scott? All right. Anybody? Committee members?
I can read the first part.
All right. Okay, so here we go.
You gonna read it first? You can read it first. She can read it.
What?
No. It's
Okay,
not
okay.
cat call. No.
Let the chair, our chairperson will read it.
Listen, I do appreciate that though. So do come back again. But right now, you know, when everything rolling smooth, right now we got some things, they might cut me off. I don't want them cutting you off. So not yet. But I do appreciate that, and that's why we definitely want you here, young folks. All right, so this meeting was from March 4th, 2025, and at this location, over 50 people attended, and we did have a quorum. Parks presentation, Israel Worthenhell, New York City Department of Parks and Recreation Capital Project Senior Architect, presented. He presented a proposal for citywide refabrication of the public restroom buildings for Gateway Park near Vandalia Avenue in Ashford. The park opened at the end of 2024. In the early stage of development, the builders created an area suitable for a restroom in the park. There has been a push with legislation to get more bathrooms in public spaces. This committee knows that the city has been delinquent in facilitating bathrooms for parks, which we thought was absurd. Right, but anyway, see, I'm getting off. Okay. More bathroom public space. The style of the bathroom is the first of its pilot program in New York City. The builders are looking for the project to be done fast and be cost effective. Israel shared a map of the prospective location 1 mile from Berryman Playground. There's a need for a restroom in the area. The painted area in the park was created as a placeholder for the space for the bathroom. The restroom will be elevated about 2 feet from the ground, and a ramp will be applied for access for all. Sorry, we do not have photos. The bathroom will be permanent and be open year-round. A rendering was shared of the proposed bathroom, 400 square feet total, with a women, men's, and handicapped restroom. There will be changing stations in the men's and women's restroom. Changing stations in the men's and women's restroom. Okay.
I see.
For babies.
For babies too, yes.
All right, just checking.
That's my park, yo. That's my park.
No, I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it. It is.
Thank
my
you,
fault.
thank
Yeah.
you.
So what I'm saying, if there's anything that's in question, just put a little question mark. Let me keep going. That's what I'm doing. The men and women's restroom each have 3 stalls, and the handicap restroom has a single stall. The bathroom was pre-built to allow for less construction time and will be brought to the site. The area will be closed off for a minimum time while the bathroom is being installed. It was asked if the restroom will be porta potties, and Israel clarified that their restrooms are not and will be actual restrooms connected to sewage. The cost for this project is $1.5 million, which is less than half of the cost of construction for other public restrooms. Just for the people that's here today, we've been getting estimates of $5 million to construct a bathroom, to facilitate a bathroom in our parks. And that's why some parks were built without it, even though it's nonsensical. That's just fact-based stuff that's going on. So if they got it down to 1.5 million and we have a restroom, I don't really agree with it, but that's probably the next best substitute. There's no way a bathroom should cost $5 million. I mean, I don't want to get off. Let me do it. I'm just saying. But see, that's why you got to be at these meetings, right? Because you can buy a 5-bedroom house for like less than $5 million. You can't buy a bathroom. But anyway, I just want to put that out there. $1.5 million, which is less than half of the cost of construction of other public restrooms. It was asked if their team looked into more affordable options. Israel said that they can't look into other options, but this is the first project of its kind, and the cost is much less than previous bathrooms installed projects. Half of the cost of the project is site utility work. Tammy G asked if there would be a protocol for locking the restrooms. The restroom will be managed like other park restrooms and will be locked at night. Committee member Duran Lenson, who is also the group leader of the association in Gateway area, shared that this was the first time hearing about this project. He previously had difficulty getting in contact with parks and will follow up with Israel at the end of the meeting. Angus Fisher asked if the restroom exterior is graffiti proof and how the bathroom may be managed with varying weather conditions. Israel shared that the exterior has steel siding and is treated with a coating that is anti-graffiti, which is easy to maintain. The restroom building is also compliant with energy codes and has good ventilation for summer and winter weather. Bill Pepe, who organize and supervise the Parks Partnership for Parks Community Engagement Coordinator, New York City Parks and Recreation Department, gave a brief report. Bill Pepe introduced himself to the attendees and shared that he had been working with gardens since 2017. He also brought flower seeds for attendees to take after the meeting. Bill shared that East New York has the largest grouping of gardens in the city, 57. Most gardens are owned by the Department of Preservation, Parks and Recreation, and some are owned by New York Restoration, like Brooklyn and Queens Land Trusts. These gardens have to be open a certain number of hours a week and a minimum of 2 free public events per year. Bill has been working with Aura and others to compile information to have Green Thumbs resource fairs. He is starting a group for leaders to share resources. Bill introduced Eric Bauman. Eric is a gardener as well, and both are assigned to the district. Bill is leading District 37, and Eric is inheriting it. Bill will now be District 42. As Community Engagement Coordinator, he previously was assigned to Community Board, but now is district base. Eric has been gardening for over 40 years, starting in Red Hook during the time when Mayor Giuliani was auctioning off gardens. He has also taught community gardening at the new school. Eric would like to know what we are doing in East New York and how they can help. Tammy Green shared that she started a garden in her front and backyard and wanted to know if they could assist in creating community gardens and grassroots efforts. Eric and Bill shared that there are areas of East New York and Cypress Hills that do not have as many gardens. They suggest that those are interested to find out who owns the land, as owners may sign an agreement that they cannot develop on the land for a certain amount of years. That is good to know for the land use committee and for homeowners. Land is always an issue in our communities, and taking ownership of gardens is a way to reappropriate that land until somebody decide to build on it. Now, if you don't adopt the garden space, they could pretty much do whatever they want in their own time frame. That's not in the minutes. It's just something I'm gonna share with you guys because you're involved everywhere. And I never heard anybody mention that before. Hey, everybody talking about land use and getting our community back, but we ain't take control of the land that we could take control of. But anyway, that's what my brother's on land use. But if owned by parks, it is no longer, it is a longer process for them to get that land back to build on. Vincent Riggins asked if an owner agrees to use the land for a garden, do they get a tax abatement? Space can be made for an agreement like that. The space, however, must have sidewalk access, and if it's a green thumb location, the space must be open to the public for at least 20 hours per week during growing season and host 2 programs per year. Owners and maintainers would have to take care of the spaces. Robin G. asked if anyone was taking over the garden that Gregory Ingram had developed. Bill is developing a group that will take over the garden. It is up to the garden group to keep his name on the garden. As a group, they figured out that their own leadership, they figure out their own leadership structure. James M. shared that he thinks Gregory Ingram's name should be kept with the garden. Vincent said he will work with Robin G. to adopt the garden. There were inquiries of how the community can integrate children into the gardens. Aura recommended people attend the resource fair and look up neighborhood gardens and visit them. Bill also shared that they can integrate programs if groups request it. NYC HCO, David shared that overview of the HCO group. They have brought over 8,000 students on field trips in the last year. Updates to Ridgewood Reservoir. In the last update, he talked about the gatehouse near Jackie Robinson Parkway. He shared his thanks to the community for guarding the area. The group has requested for Parks Department to add lights, security cameras for the gatehouse. They are awaiting the cost estimate. The area will also need paving and light sensors in the causeway so it can be energy efficient. They're also waiting to see if they can store kayaks in the gatehouse. Store kayaks in the gatehouse. New York City HCO plan to invite community to events that are happening next month. Tammy G. commended HCO for their 10-year program for kids and residents. Parks Department Parks Disc Golf updates. Portia Darren Forth and Sobine Key gave their presentation, and Portia is sitting right here with us today. The Parks Department is working with Pitching for Parks on March 29th to help with planting, litter removal, and other efforts in Highland Park. The flyer was circulated in the meeting. Updates since last meeting, there was some misinformation from the last meeting. Parks Department did not receive any money for the installation of the disc golf course. The foundation paid the contractor for the disc golf installment. Copies of the rerouting plan for the course using the natural area was distributed. On February 23rd, members from the disc golf playing group helped remove mulberry and bittersweet vines, which are invasive species in the park. The senior site managers for Natural Resource Group, NRG, was consulted. They have no issue with the reroute. The reroute would move three carrot baskets to other areas. The ones that would be staying are closer to Jackie Robinson Parkway. And Jasmine C. gave thanks to Portia and Sabine, the board, and Councilmember Sandy Nurse for their work. She shared that the majority of the players are male and white and is feeling colonizing. Gotta be at these meetings, man. She also shared that the writer for NYU wrote an article about the disc golfers, and they tried to get them fired. She shared that some of the neighbors have felt racist undertones from the players online and in person. Slurs was also used. There are also concerns from her and others about the amount of space the course takes up inside the park. She also shared that a person was hit by a disc while riding in the park. That's a bicycle. Now, one thing I always Capricious notes. Soybean shared that the team spent 2.5 hours outdoors to create the new course layout, which was designed, I think, which was designed for limited public.
To take several of the baskets to give more green space for the people who just wanna lay in the park and have more open space, so give back more open space.
No, something. Okay. Alex Bender, co-founder of the Disc Golf Association, shared that he believed the sport can bring positive aspects to the community and has been in conversation with others in the community. He believed the sport being in the area helps prevent unwanted activity, and he has not experienced anyone getting hurt in the park. Benson asked if each group brought their petitions. Friends of Highland Park stated they received 800 signatures against it. The Disc Golf Association received 656 signatures.
You have to verify that though. If you look at the most recent change.
I'm gonna ask for corrections once I finish this, and hopefully I got one page. Okay.
One page left.
This is good stuff though, because it brings up the data on what actually happened, and yeah. So, and that's one of the reasons that I highlighted that in the beginning, that we got to do this. It's not an if and or a but, we gotta do it at every meeting. 77 letters and 352 5-star reviews online. Stephen L. shared that the signatures on the Disc Golf Association petition comes from various states, but the Friends of Highland Park signatures are directly from the local community residents. Councilmember Sandy Nurse wanted to know if the compromise of the new course is acceptable to those who were against it. One attendee shared that holes 3, 4, and 5 are still in areas that people walk in and are along bicycle paths. The 5th hole will still be along a walking path and should be moved, but they are in favor of the golf course. Okay. Joseph V. asks that since May through September is a time when most people are in that area, if security cameras could help with this process. I'll help with this. I'm not going to add any addendum. He also recommend recording any incident. Portia stated that the area already has 3 cameras near the reservoir and Stone Bridge. Michael M. shared that he teaches the game to predominantly immigrant communities, and people play in each season. He was part of the group that helped pull out the invasive species of plants and trash in the cold weather. Soybean shared that the compromise was relocating some boxes are what they throw the disc in, for those that don't know. All right. Soybean shared that compromise were relocating some boxes, but are now being asked to move them again. The course has structure and flow. Another recommendation given to the parks was nets, but the other proposal would take up more space if rerouted in other directions. Emily W. shared that benefits of rerouting the course is helping with forest restoration. She also shared that she experienced an attack in the area before the course was installed. Councilmember Sandy Nurse suggested we try out the rerouting of the baskets and see how it goes. The pilot is almost over. She talked with parks in the 75th precinct to discuss how to keep the park safe. They work. That work will continue whether the course stay or not. Okay. Stephen L. asks if the trial and date is real and if there could be a reduction of the course. The Disc Golf Association hopes to not reduce the number of holes. 4 more lines. There was a question about the spotted lanternflies returning. They are known to attack invasive species of trees and plants. Residents was advised to call 311 if they spot any lanternflies in the park or their neighborhood. There being no further business, the meeting was adjourned at 7:59 p.m. Can I get a motion to accept the minutes as read?
I'll make a motion that the minutes be accepted with any necessary corrections.
Thank you very much. Are there any necessary corrections?
Yes.
Yes, tell me.
No, it was minor though. I'm only just compromised when you said compromise.
Oh, I compromised my compromise?
Because I was trying to see how it's.
What page is that? Okay, no, that's okay. What page is that?
Last page.
Just rectify right away and we'll take care of that.
Paragraph 1,
1, 2, 3, 4.
4, 5.
I got it, compromise, no, if the compromise of the new, what, it's a compromise, COMPRO, compromise? Compromise,
Compromise.
okay.
But the way it's
How you spell it?
it's spelled correct.
Oh, so I'm just speaking it wrong. I'm a country boy, so we compromise all the time. No.
You said a lot, so that was good.
All right. Yeah, anybody else? I think,
I guess I had a couple, because I was listening very intently
Yes,
that
ma'am.
night, because it was very important. So I know Zenobia Bly spoke to, and she had said that for her petition, it was a lot of the neighbors that live right on Bulwer Place. She had, and I don't remember what else.
what paragraph is that on this
I
minute?
think it was after, you're talking about.
We got a correction, please find a location so we can
I'm
move.
sorry, let me see. 1, 2, 3. I would say after,
Next to the last page, paragraph.
sorry. Oh, I think it was.
Oh, Zenobia shared that
Sure that the team.
Shared that the compromise was relocating some boxes?
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paragraph down on the next to the last page.
Yeah, I think so. You could, I mean, I think it just wasn't mentioned in the notes. Or maybe it was at the I think it was
She
after.
spoke, but it's not in here.
Yeah, I think it's before it says Councilmember Sanders wanted to know if the compromise for new course is accepted. So right before there, after it says Vincent asked if each group brought their petitions. And I think it was after that.
What was the remarks?
I think she said that, she was there with neighbors who live, in her petition had neighbors from Bulwer Place, the Bulwer Place Association.
That was prior to, that wasn't this meeting, that was the meeting before.
No, this was this meeting. It was the
this
last
meeting too?
big meeting.
I don't know.
Yeah,
You can only make the necessary changes to what's written.
To what's
You can't
Yeah,
add.
we can't.
Oh, understood. Got it, okay, yeah. Okay, that's it.
yeah, otherwise we'd be here for a while.
Oh,
Yeah, so thank everybody for that. Yeah, can I get a motion to accept them as read with the necessary correction? Second
Second.
by Albert Scott. Motion by Brother Adam, second by Albert Scott. Welcome, Thomas. Another board member came in, just in case we didn't have a quorum. We wanted to make sure we could finish this business. Motion by.
I have a little suggestion.
Yes, ma'am.
Difference.
Second by Albert
Could
Scott.
they number the pages?
Yes, thank you. Yeah. Thank you for that. That makes a lot of sense. And that's why we gotta read the minutes. Because if we didn't read the minutes, we wouldn't have made these corrections. And we wouldn't have got that suggestion from one of our community residents. All right, so, we got that done. What else is next?
All in favor? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, did I do that?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, so carry. All right,
Sounds fine.
okay, IMP, it's my park day cleanup and beautification in the district. Does anybody have any designated days for community cleanup? I see one hand, I see two hands. Brother Duran?
I have our flyer here. We're doing this coming Saturday. It's a cleanup, and my park day cleanup and also Easter egg hunting, which will take place at the Gateway Establishment Mall, which I'm the group leader, and president for the Nehemiah Gateway Associated, right there on Schroeder's Avenue, between Ashford and Elton. Schroeder's, Ashford and Elton, and then the entire Vandalia side. And I have flyers here that I'll be passing out.
Okay, give me a date verbally and location.
I just sent it.
One more time,
April
please.
5th, Saturday, 1 to 5. 1 to 5. Schroeder's Avenue, Gateway Establishment Park.
The flight?
Yes,
And got a phone number contact?
347
Mm-hmm.
1-800, mind your business. No, I'm saying. 347-414-4102.
414.
I'm sorry.
4102?
Sorry.
Come on, come back.
4102.
It's all right, you can leave once in a while, but just come back.
Sorry.
347-414. Come on, Brother Duran.
I give it to you.
I'm
Oh,
trying-
347-414-4102.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. Also, we having an IMP day at Linden Park, formerly known as Gershwin. That's going to be on the 11th and the 12th. of this month. The 11th is going to be a tree mediation action that we're doing. So we got about 78 trees, at least 78 trees in Linden Park, and we are mediating to repair, to nourish every trees, I should say. What that consists of is tilling around the tree beds and adding nutrients into it. So we're going to be doing that on 11th. 12th is going to be a general cleanup and fence painting. So we're doing real work in Gertrude on that day. That's a Friday. It's a Friday and Saturday, the 11th and the 12th. And it's going to be
Saturday?
excuse me,
What time was Saturday?
10 o'clock. Both events start at 10 to 1. Yeah.
On Linden Boulevard?
Yeah, Linda Boulevard, Gershwin. You call it Gershwin. Yeah. So come out. We give you T-shirts for participating. It's a photo op, and be part of that. Be part of. I hear you comment on my comments. Yeah, the one that said got T-shirts from Linden Park. All right, that's what I'm saying. So listen, don't start. That's right. So we do that. We work together and all the rest of that. But Linden Park is really a cultural mecca for East New York. It's just like pickleball is incorporated into it now. I was going to get to that, but soccer, football, basketball is one of the most prolific basketball tournaments in the whole city. Is conducted right there. The track and field is utilized to midnight, right? So it's one of our most utilized parks. And with the pickleball, as you guys already know, we incorporated that. We are planning. This is just an update. Still in the process. I've been appealing to the community board. I spoke to the chair about it as well. She liked the idea of this whole community board participating and facilitating pickleball introduction to our young people. The reason being is that pickleball is the fastest growing sport in the United States right now. And right now, prize money is paying $1 million. Most of our children are in schools trying to play basketball, football, and now some soccer, when only 1% is going to make it to the pros. So in my opinion, as the elders in the village, we ain't doing a good job. I could take this young lady right here, in the next 7-10 years, she could be making $1 million playing pickleball. Not only that, one of the things we found out by the corporation of the pickleball at Linden is that Gershwin Junior High School, or mixed school, at 3 o'clock, they played game fighting down the whole block, right? But now, because the elders are mixed generations on the pickleball court, and we got old school music playing, it changed the whole dichotomy of what they're doing.
Change the atmosphere. That's
Think about it. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So they come now, they look at the fence. Oh, what they doing? They play pickleball. We invite them in.
2 minutes.
We don't separate ourselves from our kids. You understand? So now they develop a degree of respect for us, and they know we got respect for them, and it's working that way. We're trying to figure out how to stop violence. We just got to re-engage our children and give them a vision on how they can make $1 million in the next 1 to 7 years with a paddle. That's the portion that I wanted to emphasize about incorporating them pickleball into the north side. Because then we can really bring the district together with pickleball activities, integrate the children, reestablish respect for one another in the community. So it's a lot greater than just playing a game.
Pickleball tournament, that's all.
Yeah. Yeah. Albert Scott was advocating for it as well. Question.
Get in on that $1 million.
You heard that?
The senior get in on that $1 million.
It don't mean a thing you ain't got that swing. But listen, I'm glad you brought that up. Seniors, especially in Linden, the average player in Linden is like over 50 years old. We have one member that's 87. Play games of pickleball every day, 5 days a week. And tip top shape, beautiful. You gotta come out there and meet the people. You gotta come out and meet your community. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna shout out to Rose Johnson. If she allowed me to, I don't know. That's her profession. She took the initiative because she worked for Brick to have Brick come out and do some videography about the pickleball session. So I want to applaud her for that. Give her a hand. And Van Dyke, they went to Van Dyke Community Center. Well, let me just say so everybody know. We had, over this last year, we had five locations. Brooklyn Sports Club, which is in Starry City. P-Jack Center, everybody know what that is. We have Van Dyke Center, which is in Brownsville. And we also have St. John Recreational Center and BRC when the construction is finished. So we got 5 locations where it's going to be proliferating from, right? So I really applaud Bill Johnson for that. And our community, Black and Hispanic, is the only one that's really don't have access to play it because there's no infrastructure. And I want to fix that in Highland Park. See? And it don't take that much to do that. And I want to do it. I was going to do it. I am definitely still going to do it. But I'm a community-minded person. As a community board, we all should be involved in that. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yeah. Education committee, right? They're in schools all the time. They know the whole ropes with the principals and all that. Based on our activism, some principals have already incorporated pickleball in their PE classes.
Okay.
But guess what? The kids like to play it, but when they get out of school, nowhere to play. Understand? So that's why we gotta take that initiative and provide that format for them. And I know all you guys are just awesome and organizing things and events and stuff like that, and we all do it together. We're good. I want Thomas involved. You got cure violence groups, right? They need to see his group interacting with the kids on the pickleball court so that the kids, when they come and play a game fight, they know TMK is there. You understand what I'm saying? They want to know Man Up is there or any other cure violence group. You understand? So we connect the whole community. I can't tell you your business model, but I'm just saying this is just what my vision is.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know who together, who not. I just know where it's coming from my heart.
No,
See
absolutely.
you see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that means the guys, they can come and learn how to play, have some fun, meet the people, and then do whatever. I'm sure they got a regimen that you do every day, you know. So I'm saying, but you can still incorporate 15, 20 minutes, a half hour into that.
No, absolutely.
And that's, yeah, so I'm glad you're saying that. So I got that commitment from TNK, Thomas Haynes, who's also a member of our committee. So you guys came to a committee, this park committee, that is really stacked with community activism and activists, and that's why everybody likes this committee. And then you are here, and y'all are going to be part of it. And I'm so excited about your daughter, because I owe her a reading of the minutes at the next meeting, so make sure you show up, because we be on time. Oh, yeah, sorry. All right. This is just for the committee. I didn't give them out. Sorry. Let me get that out. So I have a little bit about my history and where we're coming from. The Bright Leadership Coalition is the longest park volunteer in Linden Park. All right, we've been a park volunteer in Linden Park for over 40 years. We're the longest tenured park volunteer in East New York and Central Brooklyn. You can't go into Prospect Park and find somebody that's been doing it longer than me. So, yes.
Can you get one, please?
Okay, you can have one until they run out. Anybody else? That's just a brief bio about me and how we got
sister back here.
and migrate to the pickleball while we incorporated pickleball through Bright Leadership Coalition.
Can I get one more?
Thank
Yeah,
you.
okay. This is a brief bio about me and why we got started.
Some more right there. You are.
So, you gotta take a picture with your phone. Y'all know how to do it. Young people taught me how to do it. Okay. But anyway, so that's just information sake. What you need?
You want me action right there.
Put you. That's it. I'm gonna put a half out. No, let me stop. I'm messing with you. But we do appreciate you showing up, man, because sometimes you got to make quorum.
No, I actually had a meeting in Manhattan with Monjay. I was meeting with the Mayor's Office of Criminal Justice at 4 o'clock, and they meeting went all the way until like 6 o'clock. Then I jumped on the 4 back to the 3 and had my car over there by Barbie because some of the guys live over there. Then I jumped and it's 7 minutes from where I parked my car at, and then I drove over here, and I came over here.
You the man. You the man. Mom J ain't no joke, man. That's you up in there, you're doing some stuff. So we ain't mad at you, and I appreciate you for coming, man, and doing what I know everything that you do. So if you want to volunteer, in the park, Linden, it's the 11th and the 12th, 10 a.m. to 1. Friday, there's going to be tree bed mediation. So we got tillers. It's not a laborious process because we've been doing it for a while. We got tillers. We till the soil. We add mulch. We're going trim the trees if need be. We're going to the next one. We got 78. So we got 78 and 2 tillers. So the tillers only take a few minutes. You turn that soil. Then somebody come with a wagon, put the compost in there. I'm hoping to have some plants to put in the beds at that time. That's a little bit more labor intensive, but it's gonna be more beautiful. And that's gonna be all around that pickleball and that whole block, the tennis and all that. So it's gonna be beautiful. And if you wanna participate and feel it in your spirit, just come on out, 10 o'clock. Yeah. What else?
This Friday, Sunday.
Yeah, no, the 11th.
No, 11th.
11th and the 12th. Yeah, I want to make sure I gave you a week notice so you can. Right, and then on Saturday, we're gonna primarily focus on painting the fence that surrounds the tennis courts, the basketball court. They also wanted their fence painted, but they're gonna have to participate. They're gonna have to do volunteers. Now, that's really not our domain. The Parks Department's going to do that, but as legitimate park volunteers, we do whatever's necessary in our community to keep it pristine. So we don't wait for the parks, but they do provide the resources. So I ain't got to go out and buy gallons of paint, right, Paulson?
That's
I
right.
probably get a couple of gallons of glossy black from you too.
You can.
See what I'm saying? You gotta come to the meetings. All right. So we got.
I have Emilio's number for illegal dumping, but you can always reach out to me too.
Yeah.
You can say it out loud.
You
You
can
can
take
say
my
it out
number.
loud.
No.
No?
No?
Because you should have it, but we ain't gonna do that. Not today.
It's for the public.
No, that's all right. We ain't gonna do that. Everybody don't have.
It's 25 minutes to
Everybody
talk
don't
about
have
your
his
stuff, and you
number.
can't.
If you do it individually, and we've been recorded. So anybody else? Any questions?
Somebody else.
Those little fencing that go around the bed, the trees, like little decorative things.
Yeah.
You're not gonna do those?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. We are waiting for donations for that, but they haven't came in as of yet. So I don't know if I'm gonna have it. A portion could provide some of that too. That'd be great.
Yep.
That's the parks
Huh?
area?
You know, you're talking about the little loops that encompass the.
Something like that on my block too.
You have something like that?
No, I would like to have. some of those.
Well,
You know.
Home Depot is not too far away. But if you're a volunteer, let me just tell. Oh, let me just get this. Let me give you this shameless plug. If you're a volunteer and we got extra resources and you're using it for the community, we're going to assist you. I'll put it that way. How about that? Yeah, that's the best way to say that, right?
Yeah, okay.
See, there you go, open and pray. I just said we'll assist you, and we have extra resources, but you got to be there in order to do that.
Yes.
Anybody else? Any other question? Brother Scott, you ain't been there in a couple of years, but Brother Scott used to be an awesome volunteer at Linden Park. Y'all don't know that. All right, so I think we got 10 minutes, and where are we now? Oh, the final. Any questions about that? Are we moving on? We got 10 minutes.
No.
Okay, the final count and submission of petitions for or against disc golf initiative at Highland Park. To give everybody an overview of that, we was asked by Portia and Sabine to provide a letter of support for the disc golf initiative, and that's something that we haven't determined really how we're going to structure that support, being that the community residents had the highest number of petitions. So that's something we're going to have to talk about inside the committee, and we basically going to go by the guidance of the committee. Portia, I saw your hand
I
going.
just wanted to say, I think you need to check the signatures. Because when I looked on change.org, it did differ from what was said at the meeting.
We can't do that.
You got to compile them and then submit them. That's it. You got to compile them and submit them. I'm not going on the website. So you got to compile them the best way you can. The homeowners gave me a list of petitions signed. So that's what I'm saying. I didn't even bring that up at the other meeting because I wanted to give you guys, benefit of the doubt. So that's why I didn't make an issue of it that, they got more than you or you got more. I ain't even go there. But I'm letting you know right now before we make that final decision for that letter of support, I would suggest that you do that.
Okay. I'll advise both groups.
Right, and that's why we don't have the letterhead today.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want to do that to you. So we're going to give everybody ample opportunity to do that. Any other questions about disc golf? CB5 participation, I already covered that. Any old business? Brother Albert Scott?
Yeah, real quickly, just two. One, in regards, just far as a quick follow-up on the Legionnaire water outbreak that was discussed in regards to done development along Livonia Avenue, where Brooklyn Blend shop is, and there's residents that live above it. Councilmember Banks mentioned at the general board meeting that there's supposed to be some sort of city follow-up with the Department of Health to make sure that the residents was not negatively impacted by the contaminated water, as well as what type of, and then he mentioned that the agency stated that the issue was resolved. However, there has to be follow-up with said agency, and if it has been resolved, there has to be some sort of compensation to the small business owners that was there along those lines, because I'm sure that impact business, because water is needed for ice, moving, washing of hands with the employees, and then of course the residents need shower and stuff like that. Because we had an issue in one of the NYCHA buildings with Legionnaire outbreak, and it's scary that now it's migrating towards the north. Now you have Livonia Avenue corridor, and then now it's making its way up. So we have to just more or less find out what Department of Health is stating on that. Number two, the key follow-up in regards to the Gateway Mall area. We all know that everyone's here, been here long enough. Everyone know that Gateway prior to that was a landfill. Just like Shirley, Chisholm, things of that nature. For them to build it, there was a whole bunch of methane in the soil. At the time, they said pipings would allow for the methane to be escaped. It's been 10 plus years of Gateway. The question is, have these pipes been maintained? And if it is, who maintained it? We still, just basic questions, who is maintaining these pipes? And because we know one thing that's going up is regards cancer. And from what I last heard, methane is a carcinogen which causes cancer. So increase in cancer in East New York, so as far as the study is concerned. So this is just part of the open as far as a key next step, requesting that the district manager follow up with the Department of Health. And two, if we can get a study done, especially in the Gateway area. People also visit Shirley Chisholm Park, which was the #1 landfill for over 30 plus years. Methane, carcinogen, cancer. So we just want to more or less Department of Health, do their job, and then just more or less just give us some update, especially that Legionnaire water break disease, as far as how it impact the residents. Department of Health stated no more issue, but you said there was an issue and then it magically disappeared. Do you see where the confusion starts? So,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
just follow up with the district manager.
And I applaud you for that, Brother Scott, because you've been advocating that strongly for not just this session, but since it was built. I mean, you was one of the ones that really highlighted that. And this committee has been waiting for DEP to respond, and for some reason, they have not responded to the district office.
Wow.
So I think we're gonna have to just come together and kind of like nudge our elected officials to get some answers, because you're absolutely right. Matter of fact, they are building houses right now on where those pipes used to extend from the ground to release the methane gas. There's houses being built on them right now. So it's probably why they haven't responded, because they know they probably not in compliance. I see everybody here. See what I'm saying? So I want to applaud you for that, and I'm going to work with you on it,
truth right there.
hand in hand. So make sure we get some answers. Jerron.
So I want to add on to what he said. There is some stuff that's missing. Me and Aura live in the Gateway Mall, and we brought up what Brother Al said, because last summer we had a serious issue with people getting sick because of the pilot and all that stuff that was going over there, and we asked our district manager to get in contact with the Department of Health to come in and discuss this with us. I do have an inside source from the Department of Health, and I was told that they haven't gotten compliance.
They haven't got what?
Nobody replied to them as
Yeah.
far as reaching out.
Yeah.
As far as from this side. So I guess we need to discuss that further. Right?
Yeah, we will. We definitely will. And
There's no records.
we're definitely gonna get the chair involved as well. Melinda's been doing her due diligence. She's been reaching out to them, and they've been, in my opinion, because I'm not on the messaging, is they avoiding it because they know they're already building on the affected area.
They're starting now.
So they can't answer. You know what I'm saying? But we gotta rely on our elected officials, man. That's what they for, right? When you run into city bureaucracy, that's when you gotta get them in there. So we gotta do that, whatever it takes. So, I think.
One more sec. The entity that Legionnaire done development because it's due to Legionnaire due to shoddy piping, things of that nature. And then the council member mentioned that Dunn Development sold it, so we could find out who's the new owner of these entities.
Well, I believe the councilman gonna follow up on that, but we're gonna check with the councilman. That's what I'm saying.
Just in terms
So,
we
we
can
got 3 minutes, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna accelerate a little bit.
I would like to help on that as far as a press campaign, for both things, because, if DEP isn't responding, we need to amplify it so that we can.
Ms. Rowe Johnson willing to do some work on it to highlight the issue throughout the community.
I just have a question for the homeowners. Did anyone receive a letter in the mail about their pipes? Testing the pipes for lead? And if they have lead in them, they need to be replaced. I received, and they asked if you wanted to get a kit to test the water in your house. I got a kit through the mail. I haven't done it yet, but I got that letter saying if you got lead pipes, because you have to, on your own expense, get it.
They sent you a correspondence in the mail.
Be careful.
Hold on, we only got 2 minutes left, so we can't gain call. I just gotta get the facts. You got a letter in the mail from who? DEP? Stating.
That, if your house is a certain amount of years old, that the pipes may be, when they put them in, were lead.
Yeah,
And that your water may be
contaminated.
Yes, and they sent me a kit to test the water and to send it back to them.
All right.
Give me a copy of that letter. I'd like to see,
Yeah.
that,
All right.
cause there's some.
So the sake of time, we got 1 minute. Would you be able to, wait a second. Would you be able to screenshot that letter and forward it to me?
Yeah.
You still got my number?
Yeah, so if the insurance is still in here.
I'll get it before you leave.
Anybody get anything in their mailboxes?
Anybody else?
These companies put these things up that you have to replace the,
I got that.
The roof?
not the roof, but you have like, your,
Overhead.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've seen it, yeah.
So I called it, they said that the city has been giving people fines, but this is a company that's been trying to get business.
Yeah, I didn't follow up on that.
I did call them, and I was like,
Be careful with those.
Overhang, but they said they're a company, but it had NYC, it had like a legitimate looking.
Letterhead, yeah, letterhead.
Community,
Right.
be careful,
Yeah.
cause they'll say.
So, I want to thank everybody for coming and attending this meeting tonight. We are exactly at 8 o'clock, and we don't go over unless the community
business.
demands it.
Hold on, new business and then meeting adjourned.
Hold up, can we stop? Because he didn't answer his question yet.
What question?
Yeah, so regarding the methane pipes, is that what you see on some streets where there's like a pole, sticking out of like the ground?
Well, it's not a pole, it's a silver round structure, almost like a aluminum tubing or something. Is that all right? Anybody want to extend? Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to join the meeting.
Brother Adams, make a motion to adjourn. Second?
I'll second him.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Y'all have a good night. Appreciate you for coming. God bless.